Oh, hello and welcome back to the Story Shed again. It's night outside, it's dark, but in here we have light. And I'm sorry if I came across all moany and grumbly, because I didn't think I'd be able to do the Story Shed for about 3 or 4 weeks while I saved up for the lights. But apparently they ain't that expensive and they're not too difficult to work with either. You just point them where you want to be lit up. It's quite simple, really. I didn't realise it was. Anyway, earlier on, I was reading the Pied Piper, Part 1. Now, as a recap, the rats have been got rid of. They've all been drowned. And the mayor is starting to quibble about the price. So without further ado, I'm going to go into Part 2 of the Pied Piper by Robert Browning. 1,000 guilders, the mayor looked blue, so did the corporation too, for council dinners made rare havoc, with claret, mosel, bandergrave and hock, and half the money would replenish their cellar's biggest butt with Rhenish. To pay this sum to a wandering fellow with a gypsy coat of red and yellow? Beside, quoted the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was done at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes the vermin sink, and what's dead can't come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not the folks to shrink from the duty of giving you something for drink, and a matter of money to put in your poke. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you very well know, was in joke. Besides, our loss had made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The piper's face fell, and he cried, no trifling, I can't. And beside, I've promised to visit by dinner time Baghdad and accept the prime of the head cook's pottage, all he's rich in, for having lived in the caliph's kitchen. Of a nest of scorpions no survivor, with him I prove no bargain driver. With you don't think I'll bait a stiver, and folks who put me in a passion may find me pipe another fashion. How, cried the mayor, do you think I'll brook being worse treated than a cook, insulted by a lazy ribald, with idle pipe and vesture piebald? You threatenous fella, do your worst, blow your pipe there till you burst. Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe of smooth straight cane, and ere he blew 3 notes, such sweet soft notes, yet musicians cunning, they gave enraptured air. There was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds justling at pitching and hustling. Small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping and little tongues chattering. And like fowls in a farmyard when barley is scattering, out came the children running. All the little boys and girls with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping ran merrily after the wonderful music with shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb, and the council stood as if they were changed into blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children merrily skipping by. Could only follow with the eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back. But how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosoms beat as the piper turned from the high street to where the Weser rolled its waters, right in the way of their sons and daughters. However, he turned from south to west, and to Copperwork Hill his steps addressed, and after him the children pressed. Great was the joy in every breast. He never can cross that mighty top, is forced to let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, as they reached the mountain's side, a wondrous portal opened wide, as if a cavern was suddenly hollowed, and the piper advanced, and the children followed. And when all were in to the very last, the door in the mountain side shut fast. Did I say all? No, one was lame, and could not dance the whole of the way, and in after years, if you would blame, his sadness he was used to say, It's dull in our town since my playmates left. I can't forget that I'm bereft of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper almost promised me. For he said he'd led us to a joyous land, joining the town and just at hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, and flowers put forth a fairer hue, and everything was strange and new. The sparrows were brighter than peacocks here, and the dogs outran our fallow deer, and honeybees had lost their sting, and horses were born with eagle's wings. And just as I felt assured my lame foot would be speedily cured, the music stopped, and I stood still and found myself outside the hill, left alone against my will, to go now limping as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas for Hamelin! There came into many a burgher's pate a text which said that heaven's gate opes to the rich at as easy a rate as a needle's eye takes a camel in. The mayor sent east, west, north, and south to offer the piper by word of mouth, wherever it was men's lot to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only he'd return the way he went and bring the children behind him. But when they saw 'twas a lost endeavour, and piper and dancers were gone forever, they made a decree that lawyers never should think their records dated duly, if after the day of the month and year these words did not as well appear. And so long after what happened here on the 22nd of July 1376, and the better in memory to fix the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper's Street, where anyone playing or pipe or tabor was sure for the future to lose his labour. Nor suffered they hostelry or tavern to shock with a mirth a street so solemn, but opposite the place of the cavern they wrote the story on a column, and on the great church window painted the same, to make the world acquainted how their children were stolen away, and there it stands to this very day. And I must not omit to say that in Transylvania there's a tribe of alien people who ascribe the outlandish ways and dress on which their neighbours lay such stress to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison, into which they were trepanned long time ago in a mighty band, out of Hamelin town in Brunswick land, but how or why they don't understand. So will he let you and me be wipers of scores out with all men, especially pipers, and whether they pipe us from rats or from mice, if we promise them aught, let us keep our promise. And that was The Pied Piper by Robert Browning. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Just send me an email at thestoryshed@gmail.com. I nearly forgot for a moment there. thestoryshed@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to send in to be read, that would be great. What you like, what you don't like, any suggestions at all. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to do them, but it would be good to hear from you. Okay, bye for now and take care. Bye bye. And I hope you like the lighting. Dark outside, light inside. Bye for now. Bye bye.